Scotty, what's the feeling after that?
Thank you. We are recording. Thanks, guys.
What's the
Sorry.
feeling after that?
Disappointment. You hate losing. It's also a little bit of frustration. We probably beat ourselves a little bit as well as the Bulldogs playing very well. So it's that combination that hurts you the most. And injuries are no excuse. We still had the same amount of players on the park. So, it's one of sort of disappointment and frustration, really.
Is there any regret about decisions you made at the selection table in anticipation of games in the future resulting tonight?
Not really. It was, if we had won it, then, I wouldn't be even thinking about it. But no, not at all. It's what you got to do. There's just no way that we could get through 3 weeks or 3 matches in 2 weeks of full squad. It just wouldn't happen. And so I think the decision would have been either this week or next week to make changes, and we chose this week to get it out of the way with the vision of getting through the next 2 games with a semi-full squad.
How's Ali?
Yeah, Ali will have a scan tomorrow, so it's the same foot. She got trod on, so it's hard to tell on assessment whether it's actually something to do with her injuries that she's had, or whether it's just sore because someone stood on her foot. And the docs just said to me then that he's not happy to probe any further. He'd rather get the scan and then do it that way, just because the potential obviously is that if it's just been trod on, that it's move on. But yeah, so we're just going to be really ultra careful with her.
You look pretty slick for a lot of those 3 quarters with the kick mark game, and you had them on the outside. Where did you think changed in that 4th quarter?
Yeah, a little bit about decision making. We just made some silly decisions, and we got the ball into the front half early on, and then we'd turn the ball over, and it was frustrating because there's a clear way to play the Bulldogs, and we thought we executed that for most of the game, but when we lost that and Bulldogs got momentum, we just didn't have the footy IQ across the field to be able to make the decisions to possess the ball and take our time. We just always wanted to go quick, which was a problem for us.
And big weekend for the footy club, and I guess the positive was the sea of red and white that was there today. A lot of people have obviously travelled for this long weekend, and what's happening tomorrow, that must have been pleasing for you guys to turn around and see that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's actually heartwarming, isn't it? I mean, even looking across the field now, it's red and white everywhere, and it's such an amazing club. And we can't wait to get there tomorrow and watch the boys and support them. And the club support we had tonight was unbelievable, and the supporters certainly turned out. And we had a go, but you do feel a sense of responsibility with that as well. And as I said before, it's just the disappointment of credit to the Bulldogs, but the disappointment of not executing 4 quarters of what we wanted to do.
It felt like there was some skill errors, particularly trying to switch the ball out of the back half that did hurt you. Was there ever a thought maybe that needs to come out of the game because you're just not hitting those targets?
Yeah, there was. We talked about it at least a dozen times in the box, and the message went out there, but the players just didn't execute well enough. Then we showed at half-time a couple of clips when they did it well, and then a couple of clips when they didn't do it well. And that is a little bit personnel-based as well with the combination. That's the hard part when you change the combinations down back and you lose a Brenna Tarrant. It just makes it really tough to execute the way you want to do all the time. And unfortunately, the Bulldogs scored off 2 of those. So, that was probably the game.
More positively, can you speak to the value of Sophia Hurley, not just her game tonight, but her season so far?
Yeah, I've been telling everyone that she's a pretty good player. I don't know why anyone hasn't noticed, but yeah, her pressure acts are insane, and she pressures and then turns the ball over, then off she goes, and yeah, she just runs and runs and runs. And Sophia could be a competition-leading player. She just needs to believe that herself. And the other thing she needs to probably grow on still is her communication on the field, just bringing that footy IQ and giving it to the rest of the players on the field.